The castle on Mustafar is this insanely uninviting place, a really evil place, deeply uncomfortable. But this is where Vader stays, because it's the only place he feels comfortable. Now let's discuss the Bacta tank. Yes, that was in fact Vader in the tank, as the Ultimate Guide again explains. As Bacta is used to heal injuries, it's implied Vader requires these sessions to simply remain alive. It's also a great touch Royal Guards are protecting Vader at his most vulnerable, of course. Almost certainly they're at the Emperor's direct command. This is what the book says about the tank. The idea is that he would have a massive cylindrical machine in the center of his room, and in the center of that machine is a one-person Bacta tank that looks out through a window onto the lava fields of Mustafar. It's both a meditation and a healing chamber. Serenity for one such as Vader, however, provided the artists opportunities for indulging their wildest fantasies of the macabre. Twisted and evil, the former Skywalker's notions of relaxation conjured images of horror for those tasked with imagining his dark haven. There's a lava river underneath, bottom lighting the room eerily. These arms would come down to pull apart the chamber, the way you might separate a pill capsule. And the Bacta would leak out onto the hot grills and create steam, partially because steam is so atmospheric and awesome, and partially because you don't really want to see a naked Vader, but there would be hints and glimpses of his twisted body breaking through the steam. And then, at the end, you might barely read a silhouette of his helmet as it comes down. The images emerging from the art department align perfectly with those imagined by Gary Whitta. It would be like seeing something you might find in a jar at a carnival freak show, this really unsettling, naked form just floating in the Bacta tank, and then realizing it's Vader, that this is all he is with his armor off, and there's very little of him left, Whitta said. You realize that he's this crippled, broken, tragic figure, and that what he's looking at through the window is the location where his duel with Obi-Wan took place. The fact that he'd chosen to build his living mausoleum here is a nod to the conflict in him, that he would go back to this place to reflect on what happened to the man he once was. At the same time, it's also terrifying, and when he emerges with all his armor, he's Darth Vader. On Twitter, Pablo Hidalgo also mentioned the reference to Mustafar being the place Jedi go to die in Rebels now has deeper meaning, as Jedi may have been lured there or even taken to Vader's castle for torture and eventually execution. And finally, the last thing I would like to touch on is the identity of the hooded figure in Rogue One. Again on Twitter, Hidalgo explained his name was Vinay, which gave us a huge hint at who he is, and that, more importantly, we have actually seen him before. The character's full name is Kren Blista Vinay, and we have seen him before in Return of the Jedi. Vinay was a member of the Imperial Council and advisor directly to Lord Vader and Palpatine. He is likely there with Vader as a council member to do just that, advise him. Vinay also appeared in the Tarkin novel, which is canon. So that was an explanation for Darth Vader in Rogue One, to the hooded figure at his side, to the Royal Guards, to why he chose to build his castle on Mustafar. Personally, I really like all these additions to Vader and his character. I think it really gives us a better understanding at a character that we've known for over 30 years now. To look at where he chooses to reside gives us a perfect depiction of what he has become inside his own soul. He is truly no longer Anakin Skywalker. So tell me what you thought of Vader in Rogue One down below. Really curious to hear what you guys think. If you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like, as it helps the channel out a great deal. If you would like to interact with me directly and ask questions, be sure to follow me on Twitter at StupendousWave. If you haven't already, maybe consider subscribing to ensure you stay up to date with everything Star Wars related. Thanks so much for watching, may the Force be with you, and have a great day. Throughout the history of the galaxy, there have always been great Jedi killers, those that have mastered the ways of the Order and dedicated hours upon hours to their undoing, but out of all of them, one is held above the rest. Darth Vader, for almost 2 decades, focused his efforts on the eradication of the Jedi, before